Hi, my name is Celine Motti. I'm here to discuss Week 7 discussion on special populations and distance counseling. One of the populations that would be kind of difficult for me to do as a future counselor is trauma and um, bullying, as I still struggle with understanding those things, and that for me, I was a victim of bullying both online and in person. Um, Due to some personal issues in my past. I am also a victim of trauma, so these two would be kind of difficult for me as I struggle to grasp and not be able to remain neutral at these situations, and can potentially be over lean over to the side where they could I could relate but become too involved in these situations. Um, it doesn't matter what type of trauma it is, I can semi relate that it affects me from a day to day life. So, as a future counselor, this would be an issue for me, as I could become too involved for that. And the same with bullying, as I was a victim of online and in person bullying when I was younger, and that I did not know how to respond to these and how to take the proper measures to protect myself until I was older. So these two populations go hand in hand, and that those two populations would be an issue for me. The um, potential populations that I could work with that might benefit from distance counseling would possibly be um, custody battles between parents, as the child could need help navigating what they're going through, and that it's not their fault as they are splitting between two parents' homes. This can be helpful for them so they understand what they're going through is not their fault at all. Another reason um, that they can be suitable for this is they can have someone to talk to without worrying about being judged by others, including their parents or um, some peers. This would be found on page 526 of the chapter 13 of interviewing young clients. So, for instance, say the child is struggling with living with a parent while they're fighting full custody, and the other isn't. Maybe having an online therapy session can help counsel them to understand what they're going through is not their fault, and that they can be able to um, understand that they can do what needs to be done. Now, for ways we can improve on expanding the formats in technology, for instance, there is text therapy where the counselor can talk to the individual through text instead of having to meet face to face in case they have severe anxiety and cannot show their face, or um, be able to understand one on one. There's tele counseling, which is where you do a video format of how you can talk to the person face to face without having to leave the um without having to leave their own home. For instance, those who can't leave due to their job, or those who are immunocompromised. These can Um, these can help others, but there are some downsides that needs to be addressed, as captioning for those who are deaf. You would require to have an interpreter there, or have an interpreter there who can't speak the common language of the people would be necessary. So having an interpreter on standby would also help the counselor in that format. Now, there is a way to go around that in telecommunication when they're doing a video remote session, where the client can, if the counselor allows it, can put in a chat room discussion pace, a chat pace system where they can talk to the counselor without having to say a word. There are some issues that if the person is doing it in online, they could be slightly distracted, or that they can have some communication and issues or problems with their technology that it's so old that they can't deal with it. Mostly technology is a beneficial aspect for counseling if they are trying to do it remote and without having to be in person. Otherwise, I would recommend the distant counseling for those who are struggling with custody battles and other situations that pertain to the adolescent or child.